Tonight, let us travel far back in time, to a place where the desert met the sea and where the dreams of countless generations were gathered together under one roof. This is the story of the Library of Alexandria, a story of ambition, a story of wonder, and a story of fire. But above all, it is a story meant to bring you peace. So as you listen, let your breath become slower, let your body grow heavier, and let your thoughts float gently, like dust drifting in the sunlight of an ancient hall. Chapter 1. The Dream of a Library. Long ago, in the city of Alexandria, founded by Alexander the Great and ruled by his successors, there was a dream to gather all the knowledge of the known world. Every ship that entered the great harbor of Alexandria was said to be searched. The scrolls that travelers carried were taken to the library. There they were copied carefully by scribes. The originals were kept and the copies returned. Over time, this collection grew. Thousands upon thousands of papyrus scrolls, stories of heroes, poems written in faraway lands, maps of distant oceans, medicinal recipes, mathematics, astronomy, philosophy, and myths. Imagine walking through its halls. Tall shelves made of cedar wood, the scent of parchment and ink filling the air, the soft crackle of oil lamps, and rows upon rows of scrolls, each one holding a piece of human memory. It is said that the library may have held hundreds of thousands of scrolls. Some whisper, even 500,000, and in those scrolls perhaps were secrets we have never known. Chapter 2. The Seekers of Knowledge. The library was not only a place of storage. It was alive, filled with the voices of scholars debating, studying, dreaming. Here worked Eratosthenes, who measured the earth's circumference with shadows and sticks. Here came Archimedes, whose mind danced with levers and circles. Philosophers, doctors, poets, and astronomers traveled across deserts and seas just to walk in these halls and to learn. The library was a lighthouse of the mind, mirroring the great lighthouse of Alexandria that guided sailors safely to shore. Close your eyes and imagine the sound of pens scratching softly, parchment unrolling, and voices murmuring in many languages. Knowledge was the treasure, and the library was its temple. Chapter 3. The Flames. But all fires, even those of wisdom, are fragile. The Library of Alexandria did not end in one single night. It faded slowly through accidents, wars, and neglect. One story tells us that Julius Caesar, in the year 48 BCE, set fire to ships in the harbor of Alexandria. The flames leapt, carried by the wind, and reached the warehouses that held scrolls. Tens of thousands may have turned to ash. Another tale says later rulers, less devoted to knowledge, allowed the library to fall into ruin, and some whisper of a final destruction, perhaps in the 3rd or 4th century, when the old world gave way to the new. No one knows for certain. The truth, like smoke, drifts away in the winds of time. Chapter 4. What was lost? What knowledge was lost in those flames? Perhaps the secret of steam power long before the industrial age. Perhaps maps of distant continents drawn by sailors who crossed unknown oceans. Perhaps plays, poems, and philosophies that could have changed how we see the world. We can only imagine. The fire consumed not only parchment, but possibilities, and yet the dream of the library has never truly died. Chapter 5. The Quiet Legacy. Even in its ashes, the Library of Alexandria whispers to us. It reminds us that knowledge is fragile, that wisdom must be shared, not locked away. It reminds us that every book, every story, every word is a flame against the darkness, and it invites us to wonder, to dream, to seek. As you listen now, perhaps you feel the same calm awe that a traveler might have felt walking through those endless halls. The shelves may be gone, the scrolls may be ash, but the desire to know, to learn, to understand still burns quietly within us. Chapter 6. Drifting into Rest. And now, let the story fade. The voices of scholars grow softer, the lamps grow dim, the scrolls close gently, one by one. The Library of Alexandria rests, and so may you. Close your eyes and imagine yourself walking out of its great halls. The desert wind is warm, the sea glitters with moonlight, and far in the distance the great lighthouse shines. Breathe slowly in and out, in and out. The library is gone, but the peace it brings remains. And as the flames of history burn low, you too may drift gently, quietly into sleep. End of story.